What's up, guys? It's Ali Gatie. Just finished my interview at the Zach Sang Show. Talked a lot about manifestation and my upcoming tour and a lot of cool stuff. Hope you enjoy it.
Hello, beautiful human. We are about to get to know Ali Gatie, but first, I'm excited to tell you that our show is being delivered by GoPuff. Woo! GoPuff is my favorite delivery service, instantly bringing me the goods, whatever I need in that moment. Snacks, food, home decor. I love their candles. I get electronics from them. When people come and visit, they leave their chargers. We GoPuff. When I pick up friends from the airport, I literally hand them my phone and I go, here, get whatever you need from GoPuff. Stock up. It is just so ingrained into my life. It's because of how easy they are. They offer thousands of items in one spot and they get to you instantly. Like this is not a drill. Like the good stuff, whatever you need in that moment, delivered by GoPuff, right to your home or to your studio or to a random street corner, because they'll come to you. Wherever you're at, they'll come to you. I know, because I've had a GoPuff driver deliver me an energy drink, a toothbrush, and a toothpaste to a street corner in Atlanta, Georgia, and they came through. So, come on. They want to deliver stuff to you. Save $10 off your first 2 orders. Just use my code ZAC10 when you're checking out, and use the code below in the description to download GoPuff today. I promise you'll love them. They go the longest way. Try them out, please. Cool. Here's Ali Gatie. Hello, beautiful human. My name is Zach. That is Dan, and we welcome to the studio. I'm gonna fuck it up. Ali Gatie.
You got it, man.
No, I fucked it up.
No, Ali Gatie, you got it. It rhymes. Ali Gatie, you know?
It does rhyme.
That's the easy way to remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it rhymes.
Your life is really interesting because you lived in 2 other places pretty much before Canada. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I was born in Yemen. I probably only lived there for like a year, so I don't remember anything there. But I'm Iraqi, so my parents are from Iraq. They left Iraq because I think it was like a war or something at the time, and so they like kind of like escaped to Yemen, and then they moved to Abu Dhabi because my mom. Yeah, so that's where I like grew up. Like grew up, and then Canada's where like all my formative years happened. So, Toronto, Canada.
Okay, so how long were you in? At what age did you leave Abu Dhabi?
I was there until I was in grade 3, which was probably like 8, 9 years old. I think something like between 8 to 10. I don't know the exact.
Which is a really interesting place to grow up, even for that amount of time.
Yeah, and especially at that time when I was there, it wasn't like how it is now. You know, like now it's like very modern and everything's built out. Like when I was there, it was still kind of like there was like skyscrapers, but it was still a lot of desert. And I didn't grow up in the city. City was kind of still like the outskirts. So it was definitely very secluded. When I moved to Canada, I was like, whoa, like this is not what I thought the world was like.
Did you grow up with like expats there?
No, because we were like, no, at that time, not really. Because my mom was a doctor, so she was working at like a hospital. Dude, I grew up in like a really weird area. It was like it was like a border city to the next country. I don't remember, maybe to Saudi Arabia. So it was not even like in the city. And it was like a gated kind of community, but more like a gated like everything you needed was in that community. It's like basically all the doctors and nurses lived there.
Totally.
And in there, like they provide you the house. You can't really buy houses there, out there unless you're from like UAE.
It's really weird.
And so they give you the house, and there's like this is where you live, and so it was different compared to Canada. It was completely different, like you know.
So when do you start making music? Do you explore it at all in Abu Dhabi?
You know, like now when I look back at it, it's like I definitely was singing all the time. I couldn't even remember what I was singing. It was definitely Arabic music. I do remember like finding about 50 Cent back when I was still young because my older brother would like things like that. But I liked to sing, and my siblings would make fun of me for it. Like, oh, you suck at singing. Like, stop singing. Or like in the shower, I'd be singing so loud, or like, oh, the neighbors can hear you or something. But that's me looking back at it now. Like my dad got me like a cassette player, I remember, for my birthday. So clearly there was an interest. But like until I became an artist, I never looked back and be like, oh, dude, I was always really interested in music, but it was just like a thing I did. I never thought I'd be a singer. I never thought I'd even try to become a singer.
So what changes in Toronto?
Toronto, I mean, even early on, dude, I'm like from like immigrant family. My parents left UAE for like a better life in Canada so we can get education, right? So the whole plan was always like, my parents' plan was like, I'm one of 4 siblings. Like, we're gonna move to Canada so these kids can go to university and get good jobs, right? That was the whole thing. So that was ingrained on like in my mind. It was never like not an option to not go to university. And I didn't hate school, but I was good at school, but I didn't love it. But I was like, I could do this. So I was in grade 12, my senior year. I was like just doing my university stuff. Like I applied to a bunch of schools, and I didn't get into the one school I really wanted to go to. So I decided to do like it's called Grade 13. I don't know if you guys have that here. So it's like I opted in myself, even though I had a bunch of university offers, and I kind of wanted a little more time to decide what to do. So I did Grade 13, and in that year, I kind of realized, like, dude, do I really want to do this? Because I got into school and I thought it would make me happy and feel proud, but I wasn't. I was like, dude, this is not what I want to do. I still ended up going to one semester at university, and then I was like, this is not it. And I was kind of making music at that time. And when I seen how much I hated university, I was like, I can't waste my life doing something I hate.
So when do you realize that music could be something real? Is it that Joe Budden contest that you took part in?
Like, that was like, I started in 2016, like started making music. I was a rapper. I was going by Ali G at the time, so it was different branding. And then, because Toronto was not cool to be a singer. It was like, people make fun of me. So I was rapping for a year, but it was still very like, just rapping for fun. And then 2017, I think is when I won that contest. That was the first time I ever was like recognized, and I made money. I made $3,000, and I was like, dude, maybe I'm not just crazy. Because I always thought like I'm one song away, like I'm the next Post Malone. Because like you'd see that happen, like Post Malone just drops White Iverson, he becomes the biggest artist, or we saw Nav blow up because he's from like Toronto, and it just happened so quick that I'm just like, it's just gonna happen if I just keep dropping music. One song is gonna go randomly become big. It was kind of like not the smartest mentality, but that's what I thought was the way. The Joe Budden thing was a good like kind of positive affirmation, like, okay, maybe this is right. But it wasn't until like a year after that till things really picked up for me. But that was good because like between 2016 to 2018, early 2018, there was like all failure, and that was like the one success. So it probably helped me just like at least something's happening. I bought like an iPhone and stuff. I was like, oh, I got my own phone and stuff. So it was
like to keep swinging, you know?
It kind of gave me that little push to keep swinging, you know? Yeah.
That's like, it's weird that the internet, like, and that contest could give you that validation to keep going, really genuinely, probably maybe when you needed it. But when did you want to, like, when did society tell you that you couldn't necessarily rap, but you should be singing?
I don't even know if it was society. I think like me rapping, I love to rap. So like I love rap music, and I still like rap now here and there. But that was more me, like it was more like Toronto culture. Like people just it was not cool to be a singer. Like think about it, how many singers really come out of Toronto? Obviously you have like Justin Bieber, but that's like completely different route.
Yeah.
But like a guy that looks like me, that's like grew up like me, like immigrant. There's no singers. It's like The Weeknd, but he's a different type of singer too. No singers have ever really come out of Toronto. There's like Jessie Reyes, girls, yeah. But guys, if you think about it, there's like Shawn Mendes. But Shawn Mendes is like still different than me, you know?
So you did it because you felt like you had to?
I felt like, yeah. It was definitely like...
Like you liked rap, but you felt like...
I liked rap, but I also like Ed Sheeran is one of my favorite artists. So I knew I liked to sing more.
Yeah.
But I never thought to do it. And I think I was just trying to be cool. And maybe that was still like when I was still insecure and I wasn't maybe making music because I wanted to, but I loved rap. So it's not like that I didn't love it. I just, at some point I made a love song and people liked it. And I was like, dude, people like this way more than my rap. So maybe I just do this. And then that's when I realized like, dude, this is what I really love to do. And this is what I'm actually really good at. And there was no one doing it. So I felt like this is my pocket where I can outshine everybody. Cause there's like 1,000 Toronto rappers. It's like such a hard market to break. Every artist in Toronto is like a rapper, right? And so I was like, and they had a different image than me, and like I was like, the rap community wasn't really gonna accept me anyway, so I just became a singer.
Did you feel like the rap community wasn't gonna accept you?
Yeah, definitely. Like there's this page called Six Buzz in Toronto. I don't know if you guys know it. It's like our World Star. It's pretty huge, and at that time, I paid Six Buzz to like post a video of me rapping, and everyone was just like hating. I'm like, who's this dude? There was like people because I just didn't look like every other rapper, and just people like were just like being closed minded. And I was like, maybe this is not the best way. This is not the best route for me to go. And yeah, I made like a love song, and it just worked way better. And I was like, the first one I made, and so I was like, I was always singing and rapping, but then I like really focused on singing. That's when things started to pick up for me.
Are you talking about Moonlight?
So my first actual song that kind of picked up was a song called Losing You, but that was the first time I did like, because I kind of blew up doing, before snippets were a thing, I was like doing snippets. I was like in my car singing my songs. And so there's a song called Losing You. I did that, kind of got like a little bit of buzz, maybe like 100,000 streams over a month. I was like, this is crazy. And then I did a song called Can't Lie, and that got like a million maybe. And then Moonlight was the next one. Moonlight was like, even then, like, dude, Moonlight did 10,000 streams the first day. So like now looking back, it's like a platinum record. But I never had like the, oh my God, overnight. It's You was the first like huge, like 1.5, 2 million streams the first day on the charts. But Moonlight was the one that got like the rest of the world, like record labels and managers, and definitely that was a song that opened everyone's eyes. Like, oh, this kid could be something.
Yeah, it got people talking.
Yeah,
it put you on radar.
Yeah, it put me on radar, like music industry wise, for sure.
But that, I mean, that the truth is, like, behind every like big hit, they're usually in long-standing careers. There tend to be like a couple other ones behind it, you know, that grow over time.
Overnight success moment. It's like people don't realize how many like nights of failure there. Like there was like thousands of nights, and there was like, even though It's You was kind of like the song that really made everyone find out about me. It was like there was probably 100 songs before that no one ever will hear.
Do you still have them?
I have everything. I go through like voice notes. I have all my voice notes, and that's how I usually write most of my music. So those go back to like 2015, and I have them on my phone. Sometimes I go back and get inspired, and they were pretty bad, but it inspires me to be like, dude, like how did you get from there to here? And sometimes it's like I don't take things in the moment, but when I look back at like how things have changed is when I can really take in like, damn, dude, like I dreamt of being here, but now that I'm here, I'm dreaming of something new. And so it's good sometimes for me to reflect.
I mean, was there any trial and error? There had to have been trial and error between you rapping and trying to croon and like find your voice.
Yeah, I mean, my first song was like a rap song. My second song was a singing song. So I was back and forth. But when I say singing, it was like when I really like doubled down on like love songs, and like I used to just freestyle all the time. So I would just like freestyle, and I would never write. I would just like freestyle songs, and then maybe put like the freestyles together, or just freestyle all the way through. That was like the first 2 years of making music. When I started writing is when songs got like exponentially better, and the streams got much, like the attention got much bigger. When I really started like writing songs and taking more like a poetic or like a poetry perspective to like every lyric needs to matter. These songs need to like, I can't just say a line just because it rhymes. And that's when I realized, dude, I love writing more than I love singing. And so I just focused on that. Because I never really thought I was a good singer. I still struggle with that now. I'm pretty like insecure about my voice, but I'm very confident in my writing ability. So I think at some point I just was like, dude, who cares? And people liked my voice, like, you know, so I was like, okay, people like it. But I still struggle with that, to be honest.
Do you think about selling some records or giving some records to other artists?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to do that, but I think like for me it would only make sense if it was like like if an artist was like, dude, I love your music, let's write together, and then I was in a room with them and understood what they wanted. I have a bunch of songs that like I wouldn't mind sending to people if they wanted it, but I feel like I don't know if people really get placements like that anymore. I feel like the big writers, sure, but I'm more into like, let's get in the room and write it together so I can make sure to give them what they want. But dude, if someone ever heard one of my songs and I wasn't using it, like I'll gladly, I'd love that. I'd love to build my credibility as a writer. You know?
Do you need to come out of a session with a song?
I've been like recently, I'm doing most of my sessions at home alone or like with my engineer. So like,
why?
I don't know. Like I started like that, right? I started alone. I don't produce, so like I'll be me and a producer, or like people would send me like loops, like piano or guitar loops. And I made all my big records like that, right? And then I got kind of big and I got like a manager and the label, and they were like, you need to work with writers. And I did that, and I met a lot of cool people and made a lot of cool songs. But I do feel like now, like reflecting back, I lost a bit of my sauce and myself in doing that. And now I'm trying, for this next album I'm working on, I'm trying to go back to like, I might do like an almost no collaboration on the writing side and just go back to writing how I write. Because I feel like I had a specific way of how I made music that was a little different, and maybe that's what gave me kind of the attention I got at first. And then I think I got caught up in like, oh, I need to make a pop radio hit. I've never been on radio. I need to make an urban song. I need to make a song that has like more energy. It can't just be ballads all the time. But I think that was outside pressure. That was like management, label. And they just wanted me to like improve and like, what's the word? Like transform and not just stay like in a box. But I think there's a balance I need to find, you know?
That pressure is intense. Like
it is.
The want to have a pop radio hit and like to do it all. Like you can really get blinded by what that is.
I think that's what happened to me. It really blinded me, and it made me start making music for the wrong reasons. Like, when I try to write a song because I want it to be a radio hit, like that song has no love in it. That defeats the purpose of why I want to become an artist, right? You're supposed to just make music because you love making music and let the world decide how they feel about it. When I realized there was like a year where I was like trying to make hits, and also because I had a hit, and now it's like I need to follow this up, and like I can't fall off, and so that pressure gets to you. It's like, you know, I know you always said like, what if that's the one, you know, and so that crosses your mind, and especially because like management and record labels, like they like, I feel like, you know, they build off the big moments, you know, they're not as good as building off the small moments, but I kind of built my fan base off the small, like consistent small, and just like staying there.
Organic.
Yeah, and then I had that big moment, but it wasn't like, I never been in like, I'm gonna make one song and put all my money into it and like just force people to like it. It was like, when the people liked it, that's when I would go all in and I'd put everything into it. And so it's a balance. It's not like my management and label are wrong, you know. That is a formula that works. But I'm starting to notice like the more I spend on a music video, the more I try to like make something feel big, it like doesn't connect with my fan base. And I think maybe it's because it was the fact that I was never trying to impress you that impressed my fans, you know. And so I'm really trying to get back to that. Like,
how do you have that even realization?
I mean, like, I always knew, you know. It's like as a creator, as an artist, I always knew in my heart that like my gut feeling is right, but like I also am like not ignorant enough to be like, dude, like my manager's successful, like he manages The Weeknd and Doja Cat, and like he's not like a no-name manager. He clearly knows what he's doing. My record label executive, these aren't people that like just started. So I'm like, I gotta try their approach, get their advice, and I feel like now I've tried it enough to understand the fine balance of like, okay, I can't just make the same love ballad over and over, but that doesn't mean I gotta try to become like Justin Bieber, you know? I gotta just find my pocket of, you know, because Adele's been making piano ballads her whole career.
Totally.
She's fine, you know? She's one of the, you know, Ed Sheeran, like, he like dabbles, but like he's still Bruno Mars. Like a lot of these guys stayed who they were, you know? But then there's artists like The Weeknd who didn't, who changed a lot, and it worked really well, right? And so I'm starting to learn there's no right or wrong. It's just I gotta do what I wanna do because I'm the one who has to be Ali Gatie at the end of the day, right? And I have to be able to live with the persona I create. And so I think that's why this next album, I think I'm going to just try to make a full album alone and just make it sound as much as me as it can. And whatever people think of it, that's up to them. It's not up to me.
What were you trying to do on Who Hurt You? Were you trying to make that for you, or were you trying to make that pop hits?
Yeah, I mean, Who Hurt You, like, the real, like, purpose for that for me was I really wanted to close the chapter of, like, because for me, like, we were talking, when I met you, it was, like, was kind of almost at the peak of my career. I had It's You come out 2019 summer, and then What If I Told You, my two biggest songs come 6 months apart, and then I had a sold out world tour, everything was great, and then COVID happens, right? And so a lot of people did blow up in COVID, but I feel like I would blow up right before.
He did.
And so COVID killed me. Like no one blew up like in February, March, April, but everyone was like, everyone that had stuff ready for that summer, that's when because everyone was at home. But it hit me like at the worst time because it's when everyone was scared. Like the stock market crashed, nobody would care. And I had just dropped music and I had like a tour, so I wasn't planning on like, my plan was to go on tour. And then it was like, my manager was like, dude, like March we got sent home, or like, and he's like, dude, don't worry, like 2-3 months things are going back to normal, we're gonna reschedule the tour, right? And so I'm just waiting, and like I lost kind of at the peak of my career all my momentum, just like what do I do? And then it's like, okay, no, maybe we need to make music. And so that kind of hurt me, I think, a lot. And so yeah, I mean, but it's life. It's life, you know.
You still, bro, you're about to go on a tour.
Yep, finally.
In addition to that, it is life, but also we live in a world where you can drop a record tomorrow and it can change everything.
And that's the cool part. That's what keeps me going, man, because it's happened to me, so I know it can happen.
And it'll happen again.
And it's like, nowadays, it's even easier. It's like, dude, I might make a TikTok and change my life.
Yeah.
You know, like there might be a clip from this interview that changed. It's
totally.
Like, that's the cool thing about being an artist, which I love the most is, and I'm trying really hard to like stop chasing those moments because it's like they'll come if they're supposed to happen. And I truly believe in like the power of like, you know, manifestation and the universe.
Yes.
And like, I truly believe the more you chase something, the farther it's like you're pushing it away. So I'm trying to just like live in the moment, enjoy it, go back to making music because I love making music. And just be myself. Because at the end of the day, like if I become the biggest artist or not, it won't matter if I'm not happy, right? And so with Who Hurt You, to answer that question, is like, it's half what I wanted, but it's half like, I wanted to close that chapter of those records, right? They never got to be on an album. And it was like, they were on an EP. And so I kind of wanted to close that chapter. And, you know, I wanted to go on tour. And a lot of those songs, like some songs I made a long time ago. It was a really weird album for me because like I had a bunch of songs that were supposed to be on the last album, and then the album never happened because of COVID, and so it was like it was kind of difficult. But while I was working on that, I was working on this current album that I'm working on now. So I saved some songs that I think are better than some of the songs I put out because I wanted to do a full album that's like me, like I'm just for me. I don't care what anyone thinks. Like if my manager doesn't like it, I'm gonna be like, dude, this is what I like. If you don't like it, I'm putting it out. This is how I want to put it out. And I just want to go back to doing things different because I feel like that was what like made me special.
So when you think of the ideal era of your career so far, do you think, is it You? What is it? What? No. You is not the album. It's before You.
Yeah, I mean, You was like my first EP. I did 2 EPs and then this Who Hurt You was technically my first album.
Got it.
But yeah, I mean, because Moonlight came out in August 2018, right? And then I signed around then, and then I didn't put any music out till June 2019, and I was like really upset about that. And a lot of that was just like my previous managers were like, no, like it was that whole thing. You need to go to LA. You need to work with new producers. You can't just work with the people you've been working in, like in your hometown. Like
Totally.
it needs to feel bigger. Like these. And I was
Canada
just,
is such an amazing place to make music.
it is. And
Also, they support
yeah.
artists like nobody's business.
It's true, but I got caught up from that time is when I got caught up in like I should have just been like, dude, I built myself here alone, and I got every record label in the world interested, and everyone wants to sign me, and like I should have been confident enough to be like, I don't care what any manager or anyone thinks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it my way, but I didn't. I think I got caught up in like. But then 6 months later, I dropped the biggest song of my life, and it's the first song ever with the label. And as much as it was good, and then now the label's expecting like every song to be like that. I'm like, wait, like this is like some viral, like I believed in the record and I did what I could to promote it, but a song that big is kind of out of your control. Like the world decided that song is going to be what it is. And then, so I had pressure from day one to follow up. And it was like, that's when, but I dropped that EP, it was a good EP, and I did the tour off that EP and it was sold out. Things were going fine. But yeah. I'm working on just like letting go of that pressure and not because it's not from me. I don't care if my next song is the biggest hit. I just care if my fans love it and if I'm improving and I'm having fun. Would I want it to be a hit? Obviously, it's nice to be like recognized for your work. But
again, it will come.
Yeah, and I truly believe that. And so I think I'm gonna just let everyone in my team know and be like, this is what I believe. If you don't believe it, that's on you. But
the truth is, like, dude, I mean, you have hits under your belt.
yeah, I have a couple, definitely.
You definitely have a community of people who follow you and still listen to your music every day.
Yeah.
You have a tour that we're embarking on.
I'm excited about that, man.
Link in the description below. How do you assemble the arrangement for this tour? Is it you and a band? Is it you alone?
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to figure that out. My first tour, I did 4-piece band, but for the size venues, I feel like I kind of it killed the stage, and I was just kind of like stuck in my own corner. So now I'm trying to decide between like 3-piece, maybe 2-piece. I definitely want a drummer because I feel like that gives shows the energy. So I might do a 2-piece band because I want to learn how to use the stage, because I've only done 8 shows ever, right? I'm no experienced performing.
Still to this day?
Till I did 6, like
Coachella?
The show. Yeah, I did 6 shows in North America. LA was the 6th one, and then I did Malaysia, Cairo, and that was like my world tour. Then we got sent home, right? And I did Dubai. So I've done that's 9, and then Coachella. So I did, and Coachella was twice. So that's 11 shows to my name. That's like including any performances. I've never even done like performances at all. Like I've done like.
Are you nervous?
I'm pretty nervous because, like I said, my voice is the thing I'm probably most insecure about. Because I'm like a studio rat. Like I learned how to sing in the studio, and like that's a completely different thing than singing live. Coachella helped because that was way more scary than what my tour will be, I think, because I knew most people there probably didn't know me or they didn't come for me for sure. But my tour, I'm like, dude, like when I get nervous, I'm like, dude, these people pay money to see you. Like they're gonna have fun. They're there because no one's forcing anyone to come. But I can't say I'm not nervous. I'm definitely nervous. And LA is my second show, and that's like the most high pressure show I feel like. So that makes me more nervous. But I'm trying to let go of those pressures. Like if my fans have fun, I don't care. If
that's priority.
And they will have fun because they're there to have fun.
So when you're writing music today, are you writing for you or for everybody else?
I've always kind of written for everybody else when it comes to like the world, right? Like there was a stage where I was kind of writing to try to impress my manager or a label or like the Spotify, Amazon, whatever. But I always wrote and I think the reason my records did so well is because I never made them too personal. They were always from me and my feelings. But I always wrote it like, how do I get Zach to feel that, or like what's the most relatable like way I can present this idea. And I think that's why they're like so like people sing along at the shows and it's like relatable because I'm not like I'm telling you my story, but it's not so specific that it's like only can relate to me. I'm not like on this Sunday or I have used days, but it's not like exactly what happened to me. Like so I try to even be, sometimes I won't even say like he or she in a song. I'll purposely say you or they, because if it's a guy listening, I want him to like lose that connection, or a girl.
Applies to everybody.
Yeah, so I've always written songs for the world, I feel like.
What if I told you that I love you?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good record.
Thank you, man.
What was that conversation like? I
mean, I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't really like think that song was gonna do it. When I was working on that song, I got like this loop from my friend Sam, and I was writing it, and I was like, dude, this is corny. I was like, I'm not gonna like make this. And I was like working on it, and then this other producer, Danny Boy, who I've collaborated with a lot, he's like, dude, you should finish this. I was like, dude, this is so corny. I'm never gonna drop a song called What If I Told You I Love You. It's just like some like little kid kind of music. That's what I thought. I was not like, you know, because I was just making music. I never was like making it to. And then he was like, dude, you're tripping. This is a cool concept. So I was like, all right, I finished it. I'm not gonna say I loved it, to be honest. And then I tried like snippeting a bunch of other music. And then I randomly posted a snippet on this, and it just went crazy on TikTok, you know? I posted like 1 or 2, and they did like okay. Then I posted the hook, and it was like my biggest social media video ever. And then I was like, dude, people love this. Like, and then I think I started to like listen to the song in a different way, and I was like, dude, this is a cool concept, because like, as much as it is a kind of corny line, like, what if I told you I love you? Would you tell me that you love me back? It's kind of like people go through that, and that's the kind of beauty in my music. It's you. It's always you. Like, if I'm ever gonna fall, it's gonna be you. You think like, dude, that's not an elaborate like smart lyric, but it really is, because it's so simple and it connects.
No, instantly connects.
You know, and so, and then and like even titling the song "What If I Told You That I Love You," everyone's like, oh, that's too long of a title. I'm like, but that's why people are listening to the song. So it's like, yeah, I couldn't say like It's You. I knew was gonna be big. I didn't know it was gonna be as big as it was. I had a feeling when I wrote it. I'm like, this is a good song. What if I told you, man? Like, maybe I would never finish it if that producer was in the room. So shout out to Danny Boy.
Have you had that feeling about another song since?
Moonlight, I definitely knew. It's You. Yeah, and then I feel like some of these new songs I'm working on. This song I'm working on called Scared of Love. I think I'm gonna perform it on tour. It's off my next project. I have a feeling about that one, a good feeling, which is why I'm gonna perform it. I had a song called Can't Let You Go that I really thought was gonna be huge, and it did well. It was like, it did pretty well, but it wasn't like massive or anything.
Are you actually scared of love?
This song is about the other person being scared of love. I'm not too scared of love, man. I think now that I'm 25, like I'm open to it. I'm not scared, but I think I'm so like self-aware now when it comes to that. Like I've never been through like a traumatic thing where like the love of my life like cheated on me or something and like broke my heart. And if I went through something like that, I probably would be scared of love. And so, but I'm open to love, man. I like it. I even like the idea of heartbreak because it gives life like purpose, meaning. Like, what's love without heartbreak? What's happiness without sadness? What's like, you know?
It's true.
So it's important. You need both.
How'd you feel about Butterflies when you wrote it? Did you know that was a good one?
Butterflies, Max wrote the song, right? Originally, I know you're a big Max fan,
Love
right?
Max.
So he made that song, he sent it to me, and I was like, this is a great song. Everyone thought it was a great song. And then I couldn't really figure out how to go on it because our voices are so different. And then I was like, also, this is such a personal song. He wrote about his like kid. I'm like, how? I don't want to ruin this song. So I tried a bunch of things, and then I was like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I want to work with you. I want to make a song, but I don't have anything. Then I seen him start like snippeting it. I'm like, and then I was like, dude, this song's gonna come out without me, and I like this song, and I kind of got like, I'm like, nah, let me. And then I tried again, and I hit it, and I was like, dude, I like this. I sent him, and he loved it. I knew that song was gonna do well, and it did really well. But that's a good song. And he put a lot of positive, like, he was such a positive dude. I'm like, the song's gonna do well because he's just manifesting so like well right now. I'm just gonna ride this like frequency. And he worked it, man. He works hard. That guy works really hard. You know, I learned a lot from him. He definitely put a lot into it, and he got the results.
I'm telling you, I've talked to more artists. Like, he's like in the top 1% of people who just have fucking been to more radio stations.
He works, man.
It's like dude, like that's like it's just an understatement to say works. Like it really is. Like it's almost insanity.
Yeah, dude, he directed that video. Like, he was literally directing the video. Like, I think he was a director. I don't know if there was a director. He was like sitting in, he's like setting the frame up. I was like, dude, like, he's very involved, like, and passionate. He did it because he does it because he loves it, and it's a beautiful song. And like the energy, I'm saying that was a beautiful song, and I'm not saying he never wanted it to be a hit or want like success out of it, but the energy was right, and it's true to his sound, and he wrote it about a beautiful thing, and that's the type of music I want to make, you know, with anyone or by myself.
So as you look into the next album, because is that the area you're like kind of focused on? Is what's next?
That's what I mean. I'm like, I have an album almost done. Now, but I'm gonna go on tour. I'm gonna still keep working throughout the next year, because I just dropped an album. I'm not gonna like drop an album right away, but I could drop an album right now. I have, and like it's not like all the songs I've made. These are like the songs I've chosen from, like, yeah. So I've been working on this for a while and just manifest. Like in my notes, it's like the album that will change my life. That's what I'm titling it. That's not what I'm gonna call it, but I just feel good about it. You know, my best friend feels good about it, who's been with me from like day one. and we just feel like this is the most Ali Gatie I've been, and it's kind of like what you're saying. Like, I just truly believe if I put out all these records in a smart way, one of them will work.
Yeah.
You know, and even if it doesn't, I don't care because I know my fans will love it for sure. And really, that's all that matters. Like, if the world doesn't love you, but my fans do, I'm still gonna be here and still have a career. And if I'm not playing 10,000 seaters, but I'm playing 2,000 seaters, that's, dude, like, people. That's what I dreamt to be at. I just wanted to make a living making music, provide for my family. I never like. I don't know if I have the ambition to be like, I need to be the #1 artist. I'm not saying I don't want that or like I'm not working towards that.
No, the purpose and the fuel is not derived
I
from
won't
that.
be like upset if like I never had a #1 song. Some people want that though, which is fine. But that's never been really my drive. But I will be upset if I be remembered as like, oh, this dude made like corny music and like his music was very like not timeless. I really want to make time. I want to like 30 years from like down the line, I want my kids to listen to my music and be like, dude, this shit is still fire. You know, it's still, you know, and that's what I'm trying to focus on.
That's, I mean,
So
that's the right alignment and the right
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah.
That's called pure intention.
Yeah, and I'm trying to just, yeah, exactly, man. That's why we all should be focused on as artists, you know. And that's the artists that work, that last, are the people who do that. So it's not even like I'm like such a like smart, nice. It's like that. Why do you think Adele is still Adele or Taylor Swift is still Taylor Swift? It's because they stuck true to themselves. They never changed. They never wavered. They never like, you know, like Taylor Swift could have easily went super pop, and she did sometimes, but she always came back to like her Swifties or whatever they call her fans. Like she stuck true to her fans, and that's why her fans ride for her forever. Lady Gaga is still doing that. Like those artists that have those fan bases, that's what I want. I want people to love me for me, and so if I want to change my sound, they'll still love me, and if I don't, they'll still love me. And that's hard to build, but that takes time to build. That you don't build that off a hit record. You build that off the like consistent. Yeah,
That's it.
that's the thing. That's what I want to build.
So, do you have a date in your head for this album?
I mean, I don't. I mean, I haven't even talked to my management or they don't even know about it. You guys are the first people to really know about it. I mean, other than my friends and my collaborators, so they might be like, "What's this guy talking about promoting a new album?" Because I just dropped an album that I love and I'm still gonna promote on tour, right? So, but for me, that last album, for me, this is me personally. This might not be like what my brand would have like. That like last album, Hurt You, was me closing that chapter. I wanted to close that It's You, What If I Told You chapter. And kind of, for me, start from scratch now. To be like, okay, I built what I built. I have a foundation. And how do I now really take this things to the next level? And instead of trying all these new things, I'm just going to go back to how I was started. Yeah, because, I mean, you see it. Like, even Gary Vee talks about it. It's like people blow up on social media and then like, I need to like find the new content now. And it's like Mr. Beast is a good example of that. He just keeps doing what he was doing, just bigger and better and more elaborate. But he didn't just start like making like comedy skits or something. He just kept giving people stuff and being nice. And like, I think that's what I'm gonna double down on because that's what I think I'm the best at is writing like dope love songs that are lyrical, that are emotional.
Are they always ripped from your reality, or do you imagine?
For the most part, like I definitely exaggerate sometimes. Like I'll feel something and then I'm like, how can I make this more painful? Like, you know, and so like I've sometimes like imagined like, let's say like I go on a bad date, but like or like let's say. Sometimes like I'll meet a girl, for example, and like we don't even go on a date, but I'm like I start thinking about like what if I did go on a date with her and then like it was 3 dates and I fell in love with her and then this happened, and so it stems from a real emotion, but sometimes I like turn it into a different story and then take that, or sometimes I just like my friend goes through something, dude, sometimes like it's weird, like I just hear music and like words come in my head and it just happens, like it's not necessarily like this is what I went through, and then later I'm like, oh, I gotta understand why these lyrics happened. It's not like coming out of nowhere, but.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm trying to be effortless with this next album. I'm trying not to try to make music or try to write a song. Most of the songs that I'm working on have just come, I couldn't even tell you how they were made. They just came to me and it felt right and I wrote them.
So you don't set time to sit down and make music. It's just whenever nature calls.
I mean, no. Before, like, see, when you book studios and stuff, it gets weird because you're like, dude, I'm paying $2,500 for the day. Like, I need to make a hit. Like, this is going to add up. But now that I'm working at home, and I always was working at home before, but it was like, and it's like, even sessions, like the fact that I have like, okay, dude, on Thursday you're working with this writer and this producer, and it's like, what if I'm not feeling it on Thursday? I don't know. Or like, what if Wednesday was a great day and now Thursday I'm like out of ideas? I don't like that. I don't like that idea of that pressure. So now I'm just like, yeah, if I feel, I go on TikTok live a lot and write songs with my fans. Like I'll just, yeah. So I've been doing that. So some of the songs on this next album are from that.
Wow.
And I like that because it's like it's documented. Some of the fans have those clips, and so if something happens one day in one of those songs, there's like a whole, and I'll go on for like an hour and a half sometimes. I've written full songs on live, and
That's
like
sick.
see before like people would be like, you can't do that, you're leaking the whole song, and it's like dude, who cares?
No, because they're only getting a glimpse of the beginning process. They're not getting the end result.
And even if, let's say it is the end, let's say I make a song start to bottom, the whole song is leaked.
And
like,
it ends there.
I truly believe, like, dude, if the song is magic, there's nothing that can stop magic. Like, there's nothing that could stop some, like, you know, and that's what I'm trying to focus on. Like, dude, I just need to make the best music I can make that I think is the best music specifically too, not like what I think you might think the best music is. And dude, like, if the world doesn't love it, like, well, I'm not gonna go people's houses and force them to like my song, right? It's like, it's not up to me. It's like one of my producer friends, Dan, we always say, it's like, dude, you don't make the hits. The fans make the hit.
That's true.
You make the song, and you can make your favorite song, but you don't get to I don't decide if it's a hit, right?
No, the
and
people
neither
decide.
do you. And even now, you see, like, as much budget as you want, you could be the biggest artist and put all the playlists and all that.
Doesn't matter shit.
You could, and now people know when it's like forced. Like, dude, like, you could tell things are happening because they're happening because people love it, and I think the fans know how to like read between the BS now. They know, and so being authentic is how you build community, and I'm trying to focus on that. Yeah.
The internet has made people both incredibly stupid and also smart,
Yeah,
right?
and you can just tell when something's forced, man.
Yeah.
You just see, like, you can feel the energy is off, especially with music, because like it's supposed to be such a pure thing, you know. But
There's nothing I hate more than a forced feature. Do you think features are important?
yeah, like, no, I don't. But like, yeah, I agree with you, man. You know, like, I think, yeah.
I mean, you have 17 songs. There's only 2 features. Did they both come like naturally? I mean, we talked about Max Kehlani.
Max was definitely very natural. Kehlani wasn't as natural. I mean, Kehlani's a dope artist. There's nothing to take away from her, but it was definitely like my management and label. Like, we need to get a big feature, and like, I like met her at the video. She was great. She's awesome, but like, we don't, like, me and Max were friends. Like, he started that. I mean, he reached out, I think, to collaborate, or maybe I had reached out. I don't know, but it wasn't just like, here's a song and like, here's my fee and like, let's just do it. And like, I'm like, okay, like, I'll come for an hour for the video. It was like a friendship. I went to his house, met his family,
You went
met
to his mom's house? Went to his parents'
yeah, I went to his
house?
parents' house. Like, he showed me a studio. He like gave me advice. Like, we became friends, and then the collaboration was easier to. It was like, you know, and I supported it as if it was my own song because it felt like that. It didn't feel like this is Max's song and I'm just a part of it. And Kehlani was still like that. She still came out to the video. She showed love. She supported it, but it wasn't as natural. And I think the fans could tell, man. You know, And there were some other features my label wanted me to do, and I'm like, dude, like, no one's gonna like. It's like, I'm not gonna say who, but it was like big artists. But I was like, dude, like, people are gonna look at this and be like, what's going on here? Like, we know these people don't like
Know each other?
mingle, or like,
Yeah.
it just doesn't make sense. And it was like, I think I'm over that. I think that's just me and being insecure maybe, and allowing like external factors to, but like, if I have this, like, Kehlani's a huge artist, like, she's selling arenas, and like, obviously it kind of makes me look bigger. But I think it's like fake. It's like, but like, do Kehlani fans really want to listen to my music? I don't know. Like, it's pretty different, you know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
But also, is the song good?
And see, like, that song was good. I like the look a lot, and I shouldn't be like, I guess, down talking my own music, but I'm just here to be honest. And it's like, that's not my sound, right? And so I think a lot of my fans were like, dude, this is a cool song, but what does this have to do with like, well, what we came here for? And I think my issue, and like I've been saying, is like, I need to get back to focusing on my fans and what my fans want. And that's all that matters. Like,
But this album you have sitting somewhere,
it's the
is
fans will
that-
love it. I know my fans will love it. Now, will my fan base grow and will it become huge? That's, I don't know, right?
TBD, but that's okay.
But I know my existing fan base, like, you know, like my core fan base, the people who are gonna come to my shows, they will love it because I know what they love, because I know why they're here.
Bro, you feed them and the rest will fall into place.
That's what I'm gonna focus on, and I think I'm gonna have like that conversation with my management and label before I go on tour and be like, look, when I'm off tour, when I'm done tour, because I'm gonna say this to my fans on tour. I'm gonna let them know, because I like talk. I'm planning to talk during my show. Like, I've seen some shows that people just kind of music all the way. I get bored at those shows kind of, and like, I feel like you don't sell your personality as much. And I've always been big on like, dude, there's gonna be people there who like only know one song, you know, or 2 songs, or some people just get dragged to be there. Like, oh, like someone's girlfriend might bring him. He's like, I don't want to listen to this dude sing. And like, I think the way to win those people over, and also win the fans that love you over, like, they know the songs and they know I have a good voice. They like my voice. That's why they're coming. But if I can sell them a little, not sell them, that's the wrong word. If I can like show them a little more of my personality and make them be like, oh, now I remember why I like this dude. This is why I paid $30 for whatever to come here. I think that's the stuff that lasts, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And obviously music lasts forever, but
No, people want to get to know you and look you in the eyes and like have a
yeah.
conversation.
So I think I'm gonna try to have that conversation with the fans and be like, yo, look, this past year or two, maybe I haven't been like as like, I haven't given to my fans how much I wish I did, you know, and I really strayed away from what got me here, and I think that was my biggest mistake. But I think now I'm very focused on like, I'm gonna stick to my roots and what I believe in, And I really do believe in my heart, if I do it long enough, I'm not saying the first song I drop, in my head, like every song is gonna be the biggest song, but I think if I just consistently release the music that I love, that I believe in, something's gonna
Oh, fuck
click.
yeah.
I truly believe that.
That's how it worked the first time.
It's how it worked. And when it worked, then I had no doubts. You know, I never said like, I'm gonna blow up in June. I was like, I'm gonna blow up for sure. And I just kept putting out music and it worked. And now it's been very more like, the album's coming this day, so I need this single on this day to be the big one because it's gonna promote my tour. And it's like, dude, that's so backward. That now I'm just be like, no more pressure, no more. Yeah, I'm just gonna manifest, make music I love, release it, and let the
go back to what started this whole fucking thing.
Exactly, man.
Is this why you've never opened for someone? Because like your fan base is very important to you.
My first opportunity to tour was to open up for Alec Benjamin, and it was just like right when It's You came out, and me and him had like a friendship. We're still he's like one of my closest friends in music. I just went to his show. It was awesome a couple days ago, and I was supposed to go, and then I was like, at that time, and I had a different management at the time. I was like, yo, I really think I could sell my own shows. Not as big as Alec, he's established at that time, but I was like, why don't I just do my own shows? And then no one believed in me. My team didn't. They're like, no, you can't sell your own shows. You just have one song. And I'm like, trust me, I'm not just like a one song. Like I know this song is why a lot of new people come, but I have fans. Like I know, and they were like, nah. And then so I posted on Twitter. I wrote a tweet like, where should I come? Where should I do my first show? And then I like screenshot it and put it on Instagram. And dude, I got like 50,000 comments or something. And I was like, dude, what are you guys talking about? This is a lot of. And they were like, no, like Instagram doesn't connect to like real life. And I'm like, and I was like, dude, these people are not believing in me. And so I canceled. And nothing against Alec. I'm a huge fan of Alec, to be honest. Like a very big fan of his music. But I was just like, dude, like I could have my own show, and like I want my own show. I don't want to sing for someone else's fans, and then I'm gonna know who I am. And like, also like, I just feels cooler to be like, yo, like these people came for me, and I don't care if like I could play in front of 10,000 people with a superstar. I'd rather play for 700 that want me, you know. And so that's when I realized, kind of like, dude, am I in the right management situation? Like people are like telling me I can't do. And then like I sold out a world tour like months later with my new man. It was just like nothing had changed. So it was like,
you gotta trust your gut.
I need to get back to trusting my gut, because I think
you should hear all opinions, but ultimately it's up to you.
I need to just and honestly, I've started to learn now too, like I'm kind of tired of like, I'm not gonna really show too much music, I think, to anyone other than my fans anymore, because like sometimes like I write a song like that, Scared of Love, I love, right? I think it's amazing, and Ozzy loves it. He's my best friend, so I always show him, and like my engineer, we write whatever. But like, what if I show it to my manager and he's like, dude, I don't think this is dope? That's gonna kill my excitement. And it's gonna, even if I love it, it's like, I might even play for you and you might like it, but not give me the reaction I wanted you to have. Of course. And then that kind of like ruins all my excitement. And I'm like, dude, I've done that so many times.
Don't.
And it's probably ruined like the frequency in which like, Russ had this thing where he was like, dude, artists don't act on like enthusiasm anymore, because like I write a song and I want to release it. By the time my label and manager and everything aligns and timing works, song comes out like 7 months later, I'm like, dude, I'm not even like excited anymore.
Yeah,
you know, I'm not. But back in the day, it wasn't like that for me. Like I wrote It's You and snippeted it the next day, and then it was like, and that still took like 6 months to come out, because it was like, no, we need to write. And I'm like, dude, like everyone wants this song. People are begging for a song. Why am I gonna put it out? Even now, I see it like independent artists, like they have like viral stuff on TikTok, and they're like, appreciate. I'm like, dude, put it out. Like you might not. This might not last more than a month. And so it's like, but people like have this like, we need to build it. I need to shoot a video. And people don't care anymore. You need, like, if you have that ready and you knew, then great. But I put it to you out with no video. The lyric video has like, I don't know how, like 400 million views, and the music video has like 100. It's like, people don't care, man.
Yeah, we want authenticity, and people want to be understood by the songs they listen to, and they also want to escape. Like, and you do that. So go back to what that was.
Yeah, and I think people are not realizing. I knew this early on because I was doing the snippet stuff before. Dude, my label used to get mad at me for snippet. Like, you're leaking your music. I'm like, who cares? I didn't know. Like, well, like, great, people are listening. This is amazing. Like, but now it's like that's like the only way to put out music. You have to leak it on TikTok. And so I'm like, dude, I've been doing this. I gotta find a more creative way to do it, because everyone's doing what I was doing before. So I'm trying to find a way to kind of reinvent the wheel. But it's also like, you can't wait too long, man. You can't wait too. If you have like a huge viral trend, then you're good. Doesn't matter. That won't matter anyway then. But if you have like a little bit, this is like for like more independent artist advice, or even like signed artists. If you see a little, if people are asking you to give music, give it to them. Because the other way is you're gonna put out music and you're gonna ask them to llisten, and they're not gonna listen. You know, so it's like, and you gotta, bro, like what's that? It's like 70,000 songs come out every week or something crazy like that on Spotify alone. So it's like, even this whole idea, like I think I'm gonna tell my label and manager, like, I want to drop a song like every 3 weeks next year, like or at least every 3 weeks. And then people might be like, but you're diluting the market. I'm like, dude, like I'm not like Michael Jackson. I'm not diluting the market. No one cares. My fans are gonna be happy. Like, who am I to think that I'm gonna dilute the market or like who am I? People don't care. Like, the people who aren't checking are not gonna check.
No.
And then people might check like week 3 and not, or like month 3 and not month 1, but they're not gonna be like, dude, this guy just released too much music. I don't like him anymore. Like, it's like, if Drake can't do that, sure, yeah, obviously, like, dude, you're like, but I'm like, I'm not at that level where it matters, and like, I think there's too much overthinking, dude.
Totally, you just gotta keep
I
swinging.
think there's too much overthinking. I'm gonna take that approach. I'm just gonna swing and just believe that these aren't half-court shots. These are like 3-point shots, and I'll score one. And I might not score. I might have like a 10% accuracy, but that's all you need.
Keep shooting.
I'm gonna keep shooting, man. That's my goal.
All you said it. All you need is a 10% accuracy.
You just gotta hit. In music, you gotta hit once. You can hit once and be good for life, right? And that's not even my goal. I'm not even trying to like, oh, I need a hit so I can like buy a Lamborghini. Like, I don't care. So it's like, the worst case is I put out a bunch of music next year and nothing becomes a hit, but my fans are engaged, active, happy, and I have a bigger catalog than I started. That's my worst case. It's like amazing, you know. And the best case is one of them takes off, and then like great. I just keep, and even if one takes off, you have a hit. You can't release more music. Like, you're gonna kill the song. Nothing can kill a song, bro. Like, I'm starting to learn that. Like, I've always thought this, but I kind of got too labely. I think that was my problem. I got too much in the system, and the reason I was always big was because I was not labely. Dude, I released.
Yeah, you weren't the system.
I released Remedy and Moonlight, which are 2 of my top like 10 songs, 2 weeks apart, and they're Moonlight's like platinum and Remedy will probably be gold soon. You know, 2 weeks apart. They didn't kill each other. It was like not people like. It's not. I don't know, but I could be wrong. But this is what I want to do, and I'm gonna do it, and time will tell.
You live, you learn, you grow.
Yeah. And I got to be different because every other artist is taking that label approach.
Yes.
And they're doing that. We have 2 singles, 2 big videos, 1 big feature, album comes out, pre-save out. And it's like cool if you're Taylor Swift, yeah, that'll work because everyone's tuning in. Like, yeah, Taylor Swift could drop an album tomorrow and be #1. It doesn't matter, you know? But she's built over the years. Like, but when you're me, it's like nobody cares. Like, people care. And I don't want to say that. I don't want to sound negative, but I have the freedom to do whatever I want. And like, even if it doesn't work, like, okay, my fans are never gonna be sad that I put too much music out or I was too active on social media. Like, so it's like, what am I scared of? I'm scared of the people that don't know me that might not ever have been my fan anyway. It's like, yeah.
This is the right gamble and the right thing to do.
I just don't even think it's a gamble because what am I gonna lose?
It's not. You're losing nothing.
Nothing.
It's
The
cool to
worst
see how
case,
self-aware you are.
yeah, like my worst case is I gain 0 fans. And I lose maybe some like not fans that were the kind of fans, but like, this dude's annoying. He's making too much music. Like, but like, you like me because I make music. Like, I can't see anyone being like, this dude just put out too many songs. Okay, if I go crazy about 100 songs or something, okay, maybe then no one will be excited to listen to my stuff. And not every song can sound the same. That's for sure. I got to be diverse. Maybe I'll do some rap stuff. Like, so that's important. Like, if I just drop like 10 ballads in a row, I could see it getting boring. Like, dude, like, what's going on? But even then, man, like,
No.
I think I'm switching up my approach. Next year, I'm really going to try to reinvent the wheel and really show other artists too that like, you don't have to go down, you don't need to do like the standard rollout. And I think that's dead, to be honest.
I agree. I agree.
And like, TikTok is proving that. Like, you know?
Next year, like maybe like 8 months, 9 months from now, come back on our show. We'll do a status
Yeah, and
update.
we'll do a stats comparison.
Yeah, we'll do like a nice side by side.
Yeah, we'll do it. You know what we'll do? I think the Spotify rap thing or whatever, like, you know, I don't know if Amazon and Apple do that stuff. They're like year end. We'll see this year and we'll see next year. I was trying to convince my label and manager, but I'm just gonna tell them. I'm not even gonna ask. I'm gonna be like, dude, this is what I want to do. If you guys don't like it, then figure it out. Like, I'm doing it. This
You're on the record now.
Yeah, like, yeah, I'm doing it. I mean, hopefully I tell them before they hear this. I'm like, I'll tell them this week. But I'm just, dude, I believe in the plan so much. I've put so much like positive energy and manifestation into this next plan that I have to at least try for myself. Yeah. I'm gonna tell them, just let me do this for like my mental health. Like, I need to know if I'm tripping or you guys are. But
if they believe in you and they believe in the art that you put out, they're gonna support you.
I have a great relationship with my label. They give their advice, but they've never like tried to force me to do it. So I'm not like, also I don't want to make it seem like I'm blaming my management and label. We've been all together. I'm like, dude, a feature would be cool. Like, Kehlani is an awesome artist. That would be nice. So I'm trying and learning, but every time I try something new, I'm like, dude, why don't I just do things like how I did before? Like, that's always worked better. I know I've rambled about it, but I'm passionate about it.
I'm excited.
I'm passionate about it. And dude, like, yesterday I went through all my songs with my best friend, my 2 best friends, and my engineer, and they were like, dude, this is gonna work. We believe in it. And I'm like, dude, this is like, it's the most confident I've felt in a while in my music, and I feel like that's when things work too, when your energy's aligned and you're like, you know, if I'm doubting myself, why would the world believe in me, right? And so,
Amen.
I'm gonna go hard this next after this tour, and I'm starting it smart because I'm gonna promote one of the songs on tour.
Should.
I'm gonna sing it, and I'm gonna tell all my fans like, dude, I'm singing this for you guys because you came to my show, and so that song, the first song, is gonna have its in kind of grown fan base from tour. Right, and I'm obviously gonna snippet it and stuff, and so I think I'm kickstarting it in a cool way. So hopefully that helps. I'm just stay consistent, man.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you, man. I'm glad you guys believe in my in my
fuck
plan.
yeah. I really do love the music you've been putting out. I love where you've started, and I'm so excited to watch you keep going. And you got to see him on tour. There's a link in the description below. Also, if you want to listen to all of Ali Gatie's discography, you can listen to it on Amazon Music, but there's going to be a link to listen wherever you want below. What are you thinking over there, Daniel?
Hey, just shout out Johnny Orlando. He's joining you, right?
Johnny Orlando. We actually made a song together. I wonder if it's going to come out before tour or not. He sent me a song. He's cool, man. He's like low-key from the same city I'm from in Canada. He's from like Mississauga. He was born in the same city I grew up in. Cool dude, man. Awesome dude. I'm happy. It's just crazy because like when I first got the tour thing started, I was supposed to be an opener, and now I have my own opener, and it's like, sick, man. I'm excited. I think the fans are gonna love him. I'm excited, dude. Like this tour has been. I've never been on tour. I did 6 shows. That wasn't really a tour. Like there's a tour bus and all. Like, there's a whole thing behind it. And I'm just grateful because most like Max, he told me, he's like, dude, you're getting a tour bus like first tour. Dude, I was like, we were driving like a van. Like his wife was selling merch and stuff. And I'm like,
yeah.
And that's probably why he's such a good performer. Max is an amazing performer.
Dude, Max can perform to literally 2 people and love every second.
And the thing
of
is,
it.
he's just so confident. And he comes because he came out on Coachella with me. And I'm
Did
like,
he come twice?
He came both nights, yeah. And he was just, I was like, dude, I could learn from this dude. Like, he's just not scared. You know, I don't even know if he gets nervous. Like, but he's like, dude, I've done 1,000 shows probably.
Oh, that's, yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I've done 8. Like, it makes sense. Like, you could see the difference. His mic stopped working. He like grabbed my mic.
That.
I was stressed. I was like sweating. I was like, his mic's not working. What am I gonna do? But
no, he was flawless.
He's such a good performer. Alec too. Alec Benjamin, same kind of thing in a different way. And so I'm glad I have friends like that because I can learn from them. And I asked him advice. Like I was just at Alex's show in LA, and I was like, dude, like, how many outfits do I take? And then he's like, I don't know. And I was like, dude, should I like fly for? And he's like, it's good to have that. And Alex like real with me. He'll like tell me straight up, like, oh, dude, by the way, like this market's selling really hard right now. Just like be careful. Like, don't worry. And he's like, even things like, dude, don't worry if like a show doesn't sell out. Like, don't let it get to your head. Perform for your fans. Learn how to perform. Like that's the stage you're at. You're not. I'm not at the stage where I'm supposed to be. I mean, hopefully everything sells out. Things have been moving pretty well, but. Who cares if it's? He's like, dude, if it's 80% sold, because he knows I'll overthink like 80%. Like, oh, I'm like, I kind of overthink, and I've never experienced like, dude, there might be a show that ends up being like 70% sold. But he's like, dude, you got to factor in like how crazy that is, like, because I'm doing like 1,500 to 3,000 seaters on my first tour. And he's like, dude, like, because he tells me, he's like, dude, I've done like 500 seaters, and not Alec, but other artists I've talked to. He's like, dude, I've done 500 seaters and like 30 people come, and you do the show, you know, and so like. Yeah. And so I'm reminding myself. And like,
by the way, first of all, I've seen Alec Benjamin perform to maybe 20 people and a homeless guy with a tambourine at a coffee shop in Santa Monica.
Sounds like a good show.
I've watched Max perform to probably a room that's made for 1,000, but maybe there's only a couple hundred.
And that's why they're so good,
yeah,
man.
but dude, it's in the shittiest, no wonder there's a couple hundred. It's in the shittiest bumblefuck Colombia at some random fucking casino.
Yeah.
In a room you should have been booked in.
Yeah.
And I watched, and he, by the way, the show that Max gives for fucking 2 people is the show he gives for 150,000 people.
That's why he's a good performer, man.
He's incredible.
And that's what I'm
Alec too, dude.
Yeah, Alex. Those guys are like also just incredible singers. Those guys like no auto-tune, no nothing. They're just like put them anywhere, they'll start singing. You know. And so, but it's cool to have like honest friends. Like Max sent me like his like this thing you could buy to like it's like
nebulizer or something.
Like, yeah, he's like he sent me like a whole like PDF of like. Don't eat tomatoes because like, I'm like, I love it. It's like, and they're just helpful because we built a genuine friendship, right? It's not like, I don't think Max and Alec are just my friends because they like trying to get something out of me, and it's the same thing towards me. And so like, it's cool to have friends that have done like 5 tours and I can ask them advice, because like, getting advice from an artist is different than getting advice from even like a tour manager or my musical director. He's done multiple tours, but it's like, they don't experience what the artist experiences is a whole different thing, right? And obviously I got to find my kind of how I can make it the most comfortable. I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous. I've been rehearsing every day.
It's okay.
I'm definitely nervous, but I think I'm more nervous about like tour life than the performances. I'm more nervous about like if I'm gonna sleep enough or if I'm gonna like eat healthy or
like being
anxious and stuff like that. The show itself, usually I think is the easiest part. I mean, I wouldn't know, but that's what I'm assuming.
Well, you need to go and see him. See if he can fuck it up or if he kills it. You're gonna kill it. You're gonna fucking break a leg.
I'm excited, man. Hopefully you guys can come to the LA show.
Oh, we're inviting ourselves.
Awesome.
I know Dan will be there.
Awesome.
Yep.
But you should go too. Link in the description below. Also, if you want to listen to Ali Gotti's music, link there as well. Final thoughts, Daniel.
I think we covered it all.
We did. We covered a lot here.
Yeah, just believe in yourself. Trust your gut. To anybody listening, any artist that's listening, that I know some artists will listen for inspiration. Like, you have to trust your gut, and anybody that questions your gut feeling, you might have to cut them out of your life, man, because you will not succeed trying to become somebody else. You're only ever gonna succeed in life, in anything, being yourself, because you're a one-of-one creation. That's the cool thing about you being here, and so that's what I'm telling myself. Next year, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back here. And I promise my plan is going to work because I believe it will.
You're manifesting it on that couch that has seen some of the most powerful manifestors in the world manifest shit right there.
It's going to happen.
And insert compilation of every superstar that's manifested something in that seat. And it's a lot.
It'll work, man.
Fuck yeah. I look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
At your show, but also again next year. Ali Gatie, everybody.
Woo. Pleasure, guys. Thank you.